In this video, we are going to cover 7 different ways that you can use to be happy right now, so that you don't tie your happiness to your future and you can experience it right now and have a balanced life. I'm going to give you 7 different ideas that work for me. The last one is my favorite. It's one of the biggest breakthrough I have in this regard. So these are all practices that you can use to feel good right now, so that you don't tie your happiness to the future. Because, as I said in the previous video, it's important to have a compelling vision for your future. But if you're not able to experience joy and feel good right now, if you're always chasing the next thing, you will not be happy when you hypothetically reach that goal. I hope it makes sense. So, and by the way, if you like this kind of content, you know what to do. Please feel free to subscribe, comment the video below or like it. That being said, let's dive in. So, the first point would be, and it's kind of common, I'm sure you heard it somewhere, but it's gratitude. And it's very simple, but it's a powerful practice, because it shifts from focusing on the future and focusing on what you don't have and what you want to have, on what you already have. Because think about it, if you already have a roof on your head, if you already have clothes, if you already have food, you already have more than 75% of the population. So why the next achievement, so why the next thing that you will obtain will bring you more joy? Maybe it will for 1 or 2 days, but then you will feel that void inside of you again. If you're focusing on something to achieve in the future, just know that somebody else already has achieved it, and he already hated it, and he already looked for something more and something new. So an easy way to be happy and to shift your state instantly is to focus on what you have right now. An easy way to do it is to focus on what is called the reverse gap. So instead of focusing on where you are right now and all the progress you need to do to reach your goal, your future goal, focus on how far you've come. Like, where were you 2 years ago? And you'll see how much you grown and how far you've come. And so I'd recommend to start the day by journaling and do some gratitude, and do it as much as you can throughout the day. Like every time you can be grateful, be grateful. The second point is kind of a breakthrough I had watching self-improvement video, and it kind of makes sense, and it's basically garbage in, garbage out. So watch what you feed your mind with, because it's obvious, if you eat a certain kind of food, your body will suffer the consequences. It's the same for your mind. If you feed your mind with bad news, if you feed your mind with negativity, if you surround yourself with bad influence, of course your thoughts and your actions are going to be influenced. Think about social media. Is social media a way to receive positive and constructive feedback, or is it just people complaining and bragging about their lives? So just think about it. And a very easy and powerful way to do it is, every morning you can start by watching a motivational video on YouTube. There are tons of videos like that on YouTube. At any time, watch what is entering your mind. You know, you have a choice to make. The third point, and it's kind of related with the second point, is practice self-awareness. Because you have to watch what enters your mind, you know, external information, but you also have to monitor your thoughts. And you can do so by being aware, by being conscious. It's important to watch our thoughts and to realize that we are not our thoughts. I remember when I used to think something, and I would be ashamed of thinking it. Like, for example, I would be very judgmental, and then I will regret that kind of thought. But you have to realize that your mind is creating thoughts like all the time, and you have the power to just observe them and just choose thoughts and mental models that are of service for you, because 80% of our thoughts are negative ones. We are so used to it that we feel like it's normal, but it's not. And a good way to gradually get rid of these kind of thoughts is to train to observe them, and when you see that it's clearly a negative thought, you just can replace it. A good way to do it is by starting meditation, like maybe start just with a few minutes a day, 5 minutes, and just sit with yourself and observe your thought and be more present. That way you will not be trapped, you will not be prisoner of your thoughts. The fourth point is kind of related as well, but it's not just monitor your thoughts, but realize that when we think too much, we are just trapped in our head. We forget just to be. We are human beings, right? So just realize that you can, really, it's that simple. You can grab a thought and you can release it. You can just observe it and you can just see the flow of your thoughts and you can let it go. Have you ever experienced that kind of situation when you are talking to someone or you're with friends or family, but you are not there? You are just thinking about what you have to do next, what is your next problem, how you gonna solve it, and you're not present. But we have to realize that everything we do it in the present. Like the future will happen, but when it happens, it will be in the present. So just remember to watch your thoughts and remember just to be present. The fifth point is kind of related to the thoughts, but it's something that shocked me, because it's actually practice kindness with yourself. Because if you pay attention to it, you'll realize that most of our inner dialogue is very negative. If our mind was a friend, we will never allow him to talk to us like that. Like when we experience an unpleasant situation, do you realize how much our mind almost shoots the second hour at us? Like instead of cheering us up, it just destroys us more and more. I became aware of this by realizing that we are the person we spend the most of our time with. So why wouldn't we choose to be with somebody who is cheerful? You can choose to be kind with yourself, to feel compassion. And it's hard because, at least for me, it's something that I'm used to, you know, stuff like I'm so stupid or I should have never done this are really easy to come into my mind. But it's an everyday practice to watch these thoughts and decide to replace it. Like you are in charge of your own happiness. So yeah, so be your own coach, be your own guide. Don't be the one who is taking you down. So remember, be your own best friend instead of being your own worst enemy. The sixth point would be to contribute, to give back, and without expecting something in return. Because I don't know if you noticed, but every time, at least for me, every time I'm depressed, it's because I'm self-centered, I'm self-obsessed. It's like it should have never happened to me. I don't want to feel that way. I will never make this happen. I feel so bad. You know, it's always self-centered. But just by shifting your attention and thinking about how you can be of service to someone else, or of your community, of the world, it just shifts your attention. And usually when you do something without expecting something in return, you just feel good afterwards. So that's the sixth point. And the final point, the seventh point, this one is a big one because it's kind of like a superpower. And it's realizing that you have control over your life. What I mean by that is, of course, you don't have control about external circumstances, But there is one thing that you always control. It's how you react. And you have a choice. You can choose how to react. Isn't that powerful? Let me give you an example. Imagine you are in your car. You're heading towards an important meeting, but you're stuck in a traffic jam, in a massive traffic jam. It's a very hot day and the air conditioning is not working. So imagine the kind of state you would be in your car. Angry, right? Now, imagine another car just right in front of you cuts you off. How would you respond? Like the first reaction that comes to mind would be to be angry at that person, right? At least it's what I would be. So now imagine that this person he just received a call from the hospital and his son is badly injured. So he's driving as fast as he can to see his son and he's not even sure that he will be able to see him one last time. So now, how do you feel about this person? You should have felt compassion. And you should have felt that this anger just disappeared. So, what I mean by that is that you have a choice. You don't know if this person right in front of you just is a jerk or if his son is badly in danger. And you will never find out. You won't hire a private detective to find out, right? So you have a choice. And why not choose the situation and the mental model where you feel good, where you feel compassion? And there's power in that. For everything that you perceive as the reality, it's just a mental construct. And you can change that construct. You can choose to create an alternate reality. A powerful exercise is for every situation that you live as unpleasant, you can ask yourself, how can I shift my mental model, my mental focus to create a more pleasant experience? Like for example, if someone is rude at you, the first reaction would be to feel bad and to feel anger. But what if this person is having a bad day? It's actually the opportunity to spread a little more peace around you, to take care of that person. So I'm not saying this is easy, it's a practice, an everyday practice. But by just realizing that you have the power to choose and to perceive the reality in a positive way, you just become limitless. That was the final and more powerful point, at least in my opinion. So that's it for today. I really hope you got some value from this video and that you can start to use and adapt one of all of these ideas right now. And if you have any other idea or any reflection you want to share, please do so in the comments. I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. And again, if you like the video, please feel free to subscribe or to like the video to get content like this every week. In the meantime, I wish you guys a good day and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.